home and it's a small list. Teacher listed their preferences on their favorites, flowers, snacks, color, and miscellaneous items. On this list, they also put that they like vodka. Welcome again to my tens of friends. It is me, Teacher TJ. And today I will be reading a Reddit post from Would I Be the A-Hole? One is from Space Doubt Unicorn. And it's titled, Would I Be the A-Hole if I said something about this list I received from the daycare teacher? It's edited, so this was an unsolicited list. My personal relationship with alcohol was provided for self reflection as I could be overthinking that portion of the list. The list itself is tacky, and I didn't want to offend anyone with the thought originally. This is a privately owned daycare where my 4-year old and 1-year old go together. My 4-year old kid's teacher gave me a paper a week ago with a list of things they like since their birthday is coming up. I got home and it's a small list. Teacher listed their preferences on their favorites, flowers, snacks, color, and miscellaneous items. On this list, they also put that they like vodka. My husband and I come from a family of alcoholics, and neither of us drink. It doesn't mean we're perfect. I don't care if you drink or if our teacher does, to be frank. I'm just weirded out that our teacher would put that in the list. Would I be the a-hole if I said something about it? So, being a daycare owner, I have had many birthdays, and I've never sent home a list of things I would like for my birthday. I do make sure, regardless if the parents send cupcakes or not, unless they say that they don't celebrate birthdays, I make sure to buy which I've never had happen, but I make sure to buy cupcakes myself and make sure that we sing happy birthday to students whom birthday it is. So while I find it sentimental, because I like my kids to feel special, I do think it's a priority to make the kids feel special. So I do celebrate all of my students' birthdays, regardless if their parents sent cupcakes or not. I try to make sure I remember their birthday, which, if you are one of my tens of tens friends, you'll know that I have put it on calendars, which I stopped doing because one of my workers let me know that maybe everybody don't want everyone else, all the parents might not want all the other parents to know that personal information about their child. I'm really funny about saving my children's identity and personal information as best as I can as far as my child care's home is concerned. So I used to put it on like the menu, which I would send out once a month, or the newsletter, or post it in different places, or make sure that I sing a happy birthday and provide the cake or cupcakes for our students. But I've thought about making my teachers, making their birthday like known to the parents. I've never thought about soliciting gifts. That's a little weird. Like, you already pay me weekly. I think I should be able to get my gifts out of that. If not, then maybe I need to up my tuition because I don't feel it's my parents' responsibility to buy me a gift. Now, I don't think I've ever gotten, as long as I've worked in childcare in centers at home or wherever, I don't think I've ever gotten a birthday gift. But I have gotten Valentine's Day gifts, Sweetest Day gifts, Christmas gifts, St. Patrick's Day gifts. I've gotten all kind of gifts. But as far as for my birthday, I've never gotten a gift and I've never expected a gift. So for me, it's like the nerve. Like, unless that teacher is at a center where it's not her responsibility, which is no one's responsibility really, to make sure that every child's birthday is celebrated. How dare you think that your birthday should be celebrated because it's your birthday? Like, are you doing that for all of your students? If not, pipe down. Some responses to this post are Mr. Lizard Business. He says it's common to give daycare slash preschool teachers small gifts at the holidays, Teacher Appreciation Week, birthdays, etc. My school has all of the teachers out fill out a similar form, favorite colors, flowers, candy, shops, etc., and keeps them all in a booklet in the front office. I have had a couple of students whose families have never gifted out of appreciation, but they're pretty few and far between. If parents feel inclined to purchase a gift and want to check out the favorites book, they're welcome to take a look at the teacher's favorites. But I agree that sending a list home with students provides an expectation of gifting. I also agree that asking for vodka is inappropriate. I've had parents give me a bottle of wine before, but somehow asking for a bottle of cheap hard liquor feels different. If your school doesn't do any type of favorites book, you could maybe get away with this as part of a About Me page sent home at the beginning of the school year. But doing so in preparation for a birthday is tacky, I agree. Honestly, I speak to the director about this because the list, especially with the inclusion of alcohol, feels tacky and inappropriate. And I agree. Athletic director says, I did buy my daughter's teacher something for her birthday, but it was a $5 Dunkin' Donuts for a coffee, probably gift card. And there was no expectation of getting her something. I also love and adore her. My daughter had an awful experience before, and I appreciate her teacher so much more because of that. So, at the beginning of the year, I did the Dunkin' gift card, just enough for a coffee, really, and a gift for the class. Then we did a bigger Christmas gift and just enough for a coffee for her birthday. I've heard of parents having teachers fill out a list, but I've never heard of a teacher giving one out. And while I have received gift cards to the local liquor shop from students, asking for alcohol is wildly inappropriate. I agree. Like, the list is one thing, but to ask for alcohol is insane. Runner Girl 3333 says asking for alcohol is asking for every parent to wonder. On a day you're in a bad mood, if you're hungover, she must be drunk. She tripping. I agree. I made a video. I took over my Abbott. I think it was season 3, smoking. And I basically mentioned that your personal life should not be involved, should not be talked about at school. So I don't even want my kid. If I drink vodka, I drink vodka. That's not my students' parents' business. What are we doing? I don't, because yeah, if I'm having a bad day, is she drunk? Yeah, of course you gonna think that because you drink. I know you drink. So are you drunk? You know. Huge no. Babies and hungovers don't miss. It's true. Babies and alcohol don't miss. Like, what are you doing? How embarrassing for that director, though. Quick dash sky dash 2399 says, why would parents of daycare children buy the teacher a gift? If they want to, fine. But sending a list home with liquor on it, tacky and unprofessional. And Main 302 responds to that post and says, I could see sending home a list saying, please don't buy anything, but if you're really compelled, please consider donating the kind fund or something like that. Sending children home with a what amounts to a gift solicitation is pretty tacky, and a request for a certain type of alcohol is beyond pale. And then we also have Jazz like underscore adaptness underscore one says, I imagine teachers who get numerous mugs, knickknacks, fake apples, etc. for years wish they received gifts they can use. I don't think she was necessarily soliciting gifts, maybe just preemptively giving ideas, as in, if you're going to give me anything, vodka on the list was highly inappropriate, though. Yeah. Critical dash elephant dash says, as a teacher, I've been asked by both administration and parents to fill out lists like this, and I have been asked what my preferred drink is, alcohol or otherwise. All that said, I still wouldn't take it upon myself to send my birthday wish list home to families, nor would I add rosé or tequila unprompted to a list. We probably joke about it between ourselves as teachers, but would know better than to actually add alcohol to our list unless specifically asked. I don't see anything wrong with you bringing it up to the teacher and or director. I'm sure the teacher meant no harm, but could use a bit of reminder of what is or is not appropriate for parent communication. It seems like we're all in agreement. Fading Sunset Glow says if daycare teach wants her friends to get her vodka, whatever, but not very appropriate or professional to ask of the parents of the children you take care of. NTA for not the a-hole. Happy Hiker 2381 says, seriously, buy me booze so I can drink while watching your kids. Groovy Fo, and probably supposed to say Phoenix, but the E is the three. Says wrapped in the list. Feather Witch 813 says, no, a teacher of very small children asking for alcohol is absolutely unprofessional and ethically bankrupt. It's bad enough that they're begging for gifts, but begging for booze is a huge red flag. I'm not a snitch, but this is worthy of talking to the director about. Miss Thunderthighs 12 replies to that post and says, I think it more be from a place of here are ideas. Some parents give bizarre presents. Feather Witch 813 replies to her and says, no doubt, but sending it out unsolicited is pretty audacious, and including alcohol is a giant red flag, especially since in the updates, not all parents got the list. Dogs and Coffee Addict says, no, hand the list to the teacher supervisor and ask the supervisor if giving gifts to the teacher is required and if your child will be punished if they do not give a gift. So dry snitch, they're saying. Just say you're double checking expectations, and if gifts are a requirement, then that is not a problem. You just want to be sure this was required first because money is tight. Don't mention the alcohol. The supervisor will clock that his or herself and deal with the actual problem. Because, yeah, a teacher asking for copious because that list went to multiple households. Right. What if every student actually bought her some vodka? That's like 20 some bottles of vodka, girl. Amounts of alcohol is concerning, but the main problem is unsolicited gifts reek of entitlement or even bribery. Yeah. You were like, if I don't get this gift, is you gonna treat my child mean? Or can you please treat my child nice? I gave you some vodka. It's crazy. Better gifts equal better treatment to that kid. Whether you unlikely are the problem or the teacher is, if you make alcohol the focus and not the list itself, the focus then will become of sanctimonious to some people. Like, how dare you drink? They must be such terrible people and are going to hell. Sanctimonious versus this is unexpected and makes you uncomfortable. Never heard that word in my life. JBW66 says, roll the small list up into a ball and gently hand it back to the teacher. The list is the problem, not its contents, and your personal life choices aren't relevant. Icy Will says, my mother was a teacher for 52 years. That's a long time. I do. Not even gonna lie. I do see myself being up in age and still teaching in a classroom. I really do. Even owning a center or whatever, I still have a real love for teaching. So 52 years though? It's been, well, I guess that's not hard because it's been quite some time for me already. So my mother was a teacher for 52 years and never got birthday gifts from students. She had a large collection of mugs and Christmas lapel pins. She would never send home a wish list. 4530 says, I mean, vodka isn't necessarily cheap, but otherwise, completely agree. JBW66 says, sorry, I must be misreading this. It reads like the teacher gave you a list of gifts because the teacher's birthday is coming up. which would obviously be an outrageous, unprofessional, and inappropriate thing to do. So I must be wrong. Please tell me I'm wrong. Puzzle headed dash call through 51 says you're not wrong. And that wraps up this Reddit post. Overall, don't send home lists for parents to buy you gifts as teachers. That is unprofessional. I totally agree. I guess that's something I should probably include in my handbook for my center, because I would not like my teachers to send home lists for things they would like for their birthdays. But I agree it's unprofessional, especially consider they put vodka on the list. So yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with. It seems like everybody agreed that is insane to send home a list of gifts you would like for your birthday. But maybe they did not have the things that teachers like, because I myself, even before ever being a teacher, I have always given my children's teachers gifts for Christmas because I know how hard it could be being a teacher. So I truly appreciate all of my children's teachers looking after them. So I get that. But to ask for a gift is tacky. And especially if you're not giving each one of those students a gift. But yeah, that's a no for everybody, because it will make everybody look at that teacher like, ma'am, are you drunk? Is you cool? Are you okay? Are you okay? Blink twice if you're not okay, because we all think you're not okay. Please don't do that. Anybody listening to this post, please don't solicit gifts from your child's teachers, especially vodka. Well, that will be all for this Reddit post. To my tens of friends, thank you again for joining in. And if you are not one of my tens, please like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye, tens.